Wowzers, 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 friends, wowzers. We're gonna close this door. Good morning. It is very hard for me to do videos on weekends. I make that clear all the time because I live in complete chaos. But I wanted to hop on and just check in and say hi, and then tell you about progress that we have made with Outings over the years, and just hope to give hope. I hope to give hope. That's it. I am standing in my youngest two's very, very messy bedroom. We are working on, I don't know. Does anyone else just, actually, I don't want to get scolded. Someone's going to be like, make your kids clean their room. Well, I do make my kids clean their room, but sometimes it just needs a deep clean from mom. So I just don't know how things get so dirty so fast and so messy. And our problem, I feel like, is just so much stuff comes in. Does anyone ever feel like that? Like, it feels, and it's not even necessarily, we're not buying toys, we're not buying things. It's like homework and stuff home from school and sports, and you just acquire things. People drop things off and give you things, and then before you know it, clothes. I mean, just a lot. A lot. I'm not sure if anyone else feels that way. And maybe it's just because we have 6 people. I don't know. But there's just a lot of crap in this house. I try to do as much donation as I can, but sometimes even that can feel overwhelming. Clothes. Oh, goodness. When you have, like, I think every person has their least favorite job as a parent. Mine is switching the clothes over in the dressers. And I know when your babies are like 6 months old, 9 months old, a year, it's fun and cute. It's not when they're 10 and 12. It's not nearly as cute and sweet to hold up like a little onesie and be like, oh, I mean, it's just not like that at all. That is my least favorite job. And then I end up with like piles of stuff like 3T, and I'm like, okay, I'll donate this to Kaylee, and then I'll donate this to my friend Alicia's son. And then it just sits and collects until it gets reabsorbed back into the home. Does anyone else feel like that? I haven't seen Tank in a while. Do you still have him? Of course we still have Tank. Tankers is downstairs. Tankers is downstairs. Living the puppy life. My friend just got a puppy, and then that makes me want to get a puppy. And my husband says we cannot. I actually just watched a video on Instagram about a man that was driving his truck, and he came across abandoned puppies. And I'm like, this is it. This is my dream. How do I come across abandoned puppies and just love them? Oh, no. Oh, no. Hey, Harbor, so I'm doing something right now, so we're not going to be loud in here.
Can I watch your TV?
Sure. Go watch my TV.
Where's the remote?
I don't know where the remote is.
Why?
Because I'm not in there, and I don't watch that.
You don't watch TV?
Harbor had hockey this morning,
I almost scored a goal.
and he almost scored a goal. Do you want to show everyone how you did it?
The stick. Wait.
Well, pretend. Okay, there's a stick. That's a hockey family. It's just laying there. And what part of the net did you almost hit?
I almost went in, but the goalie
Oh, and blocked it. Oh, those goalies.
goalie stupid.
No, hey, we don't say that. Goalies are awesome. Goalies save games.
Goalie poo-poo.
I do not want to be a goalie parent. I was a goalie parent for 1 year, and it was a very terrifying experience. I don't like it. So,
Cooper,
I'm ahead of you in time, so it's 10:18 here. So I am not up early. Well, I actually slept till 7 today. 7's pretty good. Do any of you have internal alarm clocks? I was thinking about talking about that.
Yeah, my mom does.
I used to be able to sleep forever and ever in a million years, and now I have this internal alarm clock where I can't sleep past the time. And it's about I don't know. I would say it's about 6:50, 7 a.m. And then I'm like this, wide awake, whether it's dark or light or... How do I reset that? I mean, not that I could sleep in it anyways, but there's some days that I could, and I would like to. I would like to sleep. Honey, can you please stop? We're not playing hockey in here. We're not going to play hockey with that, Harbor. Okay. Harbor, are you like 10 now? Harbor, how old are you?
10.
You're 10?
Yeah, 10.
Oh, you're 10. So what grade are you in?
5th.
You're in 5th grade and you're 10?
Yeah.
Oh, what year were you born?
I was born 10 years ago.
Oh, that was good. Harbor, yeah, he, something happened. He seemed to grow up overnight. It just happened. Come over here. Come here. Show him your face. I want to show everyone your face. He lost like the baby. Like it's like, no, he just looks like a grown up.
This tooth is like gone.
Sorry. Okay, can you go out for a minute? Okay, then I'm gonna go somewhere else. I want you to go out for a minute. Please go out. Go look in my room for it. It's probably just on the dresser. Go look. Okay, you're gonna get your butt. Yeah. I swear, these children. Okay, so let's talk about outings. And I just want to give, I lost comments, just to give a little hope. So my son Cooper is 14. He was diagnosed with autism when he was 3. And I'm actually just kind of rehashing this all over again in my real life because I'm writing some things. And, you know, we started to see signs of autism very early. Didn't know what autism was. And it was just a very, very, very confusing time. Cooper, and so I just really want to just say, like, an autism diagnosis for us wasn't black and white. Like, it wasn't like autism. It was like, is he, isn't he, back and forth for a long period of time, because Cooper met every milestone, like rolling over, sitting up, walking. The first real big red flag milestone that we had was he wasn't jumping. And I distinctly remember this, and the pediatrician being like, he should be jumping by now. Cooper's 14 and he still can't really jump. He just has no muscle, no coordination, very clumsy. So jumping is just, he never jumped. And I remember coming home from the pediatrician. I don't remember how old he was. So, but I could probably Google it and see when the milestone is. But he was like, I was like practicing jumping with him, and he could not figure it out. On top of that, Cooper never started babbling. So that was like our overarching, like, something's really going on here. So never babbled, never talked. Obviously huge. But like, if you were just to like pull that out for a second, there were little things that I started to notice. You know those cups are plastic and they have like a rubber top, and you can put snacks in it and it can't be spilled, but they can reach in? I use those for all 4 of my kids. Cooper could never figure that out. Never. I am telling you, I can see him in Duluth, Minnesota. He would have been 3 or 4, 2 or 3, I don't know, sitting on this green chair. I can see him. And he would hold it, and he was like, and so we'd take his hand and do hand over hand and put it in and pull it out. And then he'd be like, he could not, why, for whatever reason, that, you know, just little things started popping up. Couldn't use a fork or a spoon. And for context, my daughter's 4, and, you know, she has always used a fork and a spoon. That sounds bananas, but for real. And when you have a neurotypical, I'll just say, child, they just do things and you don't even really take note. You just don't, because they drink from a cup and they put their shoes on and they want to get dressed. And with Cooper, never had that. And the other thing that I really point to is now I know the word is rigidity, but back then it was just, everything was always no. Like he wouldn't play the game. He wouldn't go for a walk. He wouldn't ride in the car. I mean, of course he had to as a baby, but it was just pure torture. Everything was just miserable for him. I mean, he was just so upset all the time. And I tried to get him to play, or to this day, he's never played with a toy. He's 14, never played with a toy. Never. I mean, and I know never and always are words that you have to be careful using. He has never played with a toy. His brain just doesn't work like that. And it doesn't interest him. And so, lots of really big red flags right away. And then, leaving our house became nearly impossible until it was. And so I always say our world shrunk. And that's really, really what it felt like. It felt like one day we could go to this place, this park, and then the next day it wasn't safe anymore. We could go to this friend's house, and then we couldn't anymore. And, in our hardest autism parenting years and family years, we were really just locked inside of our home. And I talked to a mom yesterday who has 2 older boys who one elopes. Unless you've lived it, you can't really understand it. And we together, we just kind of teared up and talked about trying to keep someone alive who doesn't understand danger. And I mean, that was Cooper for so long. You guys, we had these 3 locks on the front door, and I could still hear the noise. He would walk through the house and he would jiggle the knob. And he was trying to get outside. Now, I would gladly take my son outside and play. Let's do it. But he didn't want to play. He wanted to run. And he would run into the road, and he would, look at a car and run towards it and laugh. And so until we got a fence, we were really locked inside. We tried to go to people's houses. Cooper, remember those huge DVD stands, or CD stands? It used to be they were thousands of DVDs or CDs. I'm dating myself, but sometimes they were wood or metal or kind of like a bookshelf, He would just knock things over. We were at a birthday party, or I can't remember where we were at. It was a house. And he knocked over a stand with 10,000 DVDs. I will never forget it. But it was always things like that, in their beds, in their pantries, and it just really looked like just a wild little beast running around. And, that's not what we just felt like failures. And it's no matter what we did, we couldn't get him to sit or engage or play, or he'd wiggle and run and roll. And so whatever, that's just a long way of saying we eventually just had to be home. And I think we got a lot of judgment for that from people who didn't understand. I think people's feelings were hurt that we didn't go to their things. We had to really put Cooper's safety and our sanity above everything else. That put a lot of pressure on our marriage. I mean, when you're fighting over, going to family Christmas, we had many years and still have things that we have to figure out. But it's no, I'm not going to go to that gathering. I'm not going to go to that wedding and sit in the car with Cooper the whole entire time. That's not fair. Or just, I'm sure so many of you can relate to so much of this, but it's a lot of pressure on families, and you want your other kids to experience things, and you want your family to experience things. And I'll say this is one sentence that was accurate when he was 3. That's still accurate at 14. I've never understood why Cooper can't just be present in a situation. And if any mom or dad can relate to that, could you just say me too? And what I mean by that is Cooper's a really, really easy to please guy. He wants his snacks and his blankets and his iPad. He's just real chill at home until he's not, but real chill. And I never understood why he couldn't be chill. I'm going to make sitting at a park in a chair, or sitting at so-and-so's house during an event. still to this day, and he's going to be 15 in 2 weeks, I don't understand, and I want to, because I want to help, and I want to make it better, and I want to make it easier for my family, why he can't. I always just say he just can't be present. So like if you're expected to sit, he runs. If you're expected to walk, he lays down. I don't know why. And it's almost could, really honestly make me cry when I just think about all the choices that we've had to make. And, I don't know. And, we split up for a lot of years. We really did. One of us would go and one of us would stay. And then we got some help in our home, but then there's a lot of guilt that comes with that. And it just, none of this is like black and white, just like layers and layers of gray. My goal for Cooper, I've had goals for him, his whole life. I want to get him on an airplane someday. I want to get him to a restaurant. I want to get him to his brother's sporting events. I'd love if he could go to his brother's graduation when that happens, his brother's wedding when that happens. When I look to the future, it's like there's these things I want us to be able to, I think about when he's older and the other kids are gone and we're living our life, the three of us, my husband and Cooper, we should be able to stop and have a burger. We should be able to go to a movie, or we have to figure out how to live alongside autism. And so every goal that I've ever had for Cooper really comes towards those things. So sitting, waiting, getting someone's attention nicely without screaming, managing the volume on the iPad, walking in somewhere new. I mean, if you think of all the steps, handling sounds, and two things. So much of that is on the parent. I mean, how do we prepare for everything, right? And try these things in controlled settings and be able to leave if we have to and build on the skill. And when we were in ABA, I remember, one of our goals was to get him into a Target or a Walmart or a grocery store or something like that. And the first step was just walking in the parking lot. The second step was walking in the front door. I can vividly remember living in Cottage Grove, and we had an ABA therapist who helped us. And every day we went to Target and we couldn't even make it through the sliding glass doors. So our Targets have double doors that open and then another, there's a center part. And I can see her sitting on the ground with him and people walking by and just feeling about this tall. And that was step 2. Step 3 was getting inside, and step 4 was walking and not, so when I say it's taken us nearly 15 years to get where we are today, that sounds funny, right? But most children who don't have disabilities or, like my other 3, we've never had to practice walking in a parking lot. Of course, we have to hold their hand and listen in ears and be safe, but we've never had to practice walking in a door, waiting. I mean, they just learn these skills as they go. And with Cooper, it's just been, it's been 14 years of practicing. He's made a lot of progress, and that's really what I want to share with you, just because I think it's so important to just acknowledge the progress that he's made. We have a long ways to go. But last night, so I want us to have a family. I want our family to be a family. I don't want it to be a split up family. And so a lot of our family revolves around sports and 100% all in. Our son Sawyer plays baseball and hockey. Harbor will probably play the same sports. He does right now. He'll probably stick with those, I would say. Our daughter, I have no idea what she's going to do. She dances, but she's only 4. And I don't want to miss things. Now, it's normal to miss things. It's normal to have to make choices, and one goes here, one goes there. But when it comes down to it, I don't want to miss things because of autism, because I don't think that's fair to my other kids. I don't think that's fair to Cooper. And I want to work as hard as I can And I missed things for a lot of years. And if you read Forever Boy, my first book, I really touched on the guilt that I feel with my second son. And even today, if I can go back there in my mind and I feel like I really messed up, I missed a lot of things. And I feel like I watched him grow up in photos and videos from my husband and family and friends that would take him along. And it was me that was setting those things up. Like, go to the zoo, buddy. Go with so-and-so. It'll be so fun. Go to Valley Fair. Go, and knowing that I couldn't be there, I still wanted to give him all the experiences. And I was so thankful to the people that would take him along. I was just so thankful that like he could have all the experiences, even if it wasn't with me. And of course I felt sad, but impossible decisions, right? And now I don't want it to be that way anymore. I want to work really hard. And so right now we're in hockey season, and hockey rinks are a unique beast. If you don't have hockey where you live, they're very loud and they're often very smelly and very cold. I mean, some of them are nicer, and there's like heat blowing, but it's cold. It's often very like visually very bright. And most people probably won't notice this, but I look at things through Cooper's eyes sometimes. And I'm like, it is so bright in here. It's so loud. It's like that like white noise sound, like it's a big sheet of ice and a big bubble. So, we had a lot of really bad experiences trying to bring Cooper to hockey, and they were bad. And they were, you have to take in other factors too. Like, are we able to actually watch the game? Could this possibly be uncomfortable for Sawyer? Do Sawyer's teammates understand autism, or are they teasing Sawyer? All these different factors that are real life that we have to talk about. And we had this one game where we had one where he ran on the ice after the game. That was, I choose to laugh about that. But, other things where he was, hockey rinks typically have metal seats, and he loves sounds. That's actually gotten a lot better, and I'm going to knock on wood, but he, loves a loud sound that he's making. And so he would not stop hitting the bleachers. And people were getting frustrated, and we had to, try and remove him. He was eating things from underneath the bleachers, like gum and just, lots of just uncomfortable things, and yelling, stimming. And he wasn't ready yet. This was a couple years ago. So we gave it time and worked on some more skills. And, so this year, the season's just started. He has went to 4 games in very controlled settings. Last night was actually a new rink that he hadn't been to before. And we totally lucked out because this back row of the seats had these like desks. I'm sure it's for like evaluating or scoring, but he loved it because he could sit in there and he could put all his stuff on the desk, and then he doesn't really watch the game, but he could like lean on it. It was like genius. I'm like, this is so great. But we typically sit away from people, although last night we were closest to people that we've been. And he's making it all 3 periods. So is it 15 minutes right now? It changes every year. Well, he's making it a long time. And he had 1 vocal stim last night. He got mad at me about something because I wouldn't write something. And I didn't have a pen. And he got mad at me, and he did 1 vocal stim, but it was so loud in there, I don't think anyone heard. So, I mean, that's amazing. One of our challenges that we brought upon ourselves is we have 2 younger children. And would life be a lot easier if we just had, there they are. Look at them up there. Aren't they like little angels frozen on the wall there? They're wild, and they're running and doing what kids should be doing. And so when we are in the community, I am Cooper's person. I cannot separate from him. It's the way it is. We're working on it, but that's the way it is. So I'm with him. And then Jamie, my husband, manages the other 2 kids. Last night, Jamie looked at me. He's like, I haven't seen a second of hockey. I'm like, I know. I'm sorry we had so many kids. I'm like, terrible idea. But And then yesterday, I just want to share this. I went to a library yesterday in Wisconsin and I spoke and it had just the best time. But there was a young man there. I can't remember if he was 17 or 18. I think he was 17. And he looked like Cooper. And he looked like Cooper and he sat through my whole presentation. And he had his phone. He was non-speaking. He had his phone and he sat there. And I mean, I was like in awe of this young man. I was in awe that he sat there the whole time. I can't even imagine that. I mean, so that's like the ultimate goal, right? I mean, amazing. And then I am so proud of Cooper for sitting in a loud, chaotic hockey rink and his pad can be as loud as it wants because no one can hear in there. And I said to the mom, I said, was your son always like this? Like, was he always able to sit here? And she's like, oh my gosh, no. She's like, I didn't even know this was possible. And it just gave me so much hope. Like, I just cannot imagine being able to do something like that with Cooper. I was like, if he was in here, he would tear this place up. Like, he would be running around and sneaking books. We had a library and stuffing them in his bag. And I'm like, your son is amazing. So, I had just seen a study saying people with 4 kids are happier than anyone else. I'm going to tell my husband that. He will love to hear that. He will love that. They'll laugh out loud. Oh, thank you, Jamie. Oh, I feel tired. I've been sick for like 10 days. I think I'm finally on the mend. I got hit really hard with influenza B. And it just never got better. I don't know what's going on with that. But anyhow, I want to just give hope. And I think, I don't know your situation. I don't know if it will get better or I don't know. But I can just say, and if this just resonates with one person, Cooper has pretty severe autism. He's non-speaking and he can be very challenging. And I never thought we would get to where we are today. And is it still hard? Yep. Is it still so much work? Yep. Am I sweating? Yep. Are we there? Yes. And so for us, it was just really, really breaking down the skills. And so, we utilize timers, we utilize lists. We go for 5 minutes and then 10 minutes and then 15. And I'm talking about like very limited settings. So hockey, baseball, just little things like that. Like we're still not going to a movie. We're not going to a restaurant. But find something that if you're a mom or dad or grandma and you're like, there's just something that I want to try. Like pick 3 things. When you look at your child and you're like, when they're 15 or 18, these are the 3 things that I want them to be able to do. Like that is what's so important. These 3 things: restaurants, sporting events, airplane. That was our 3 things. My 3 things have never changed. Now, I want church to be on there. We're not ready for church. I'm not going to, the church isn't doing anything wrong. No blame. We're not ready for church. But the other things will get us there. And so, mom or dad, just think of those things. And then what do you need to do to be able to get there? Ours are understanding waiting, sitting calmly, being occupied with the phone or the iPad, wearing headphones. We're not there yet. But, and when I was thinking about this video, you know what I was thinking about? Why is it so much damn work? Right? I mean, we can say that. Like, I would give anything, you guys. I would give anything to take my family to a restaurant. I look at, and I do not live a saint life. Like, I look at other families and I get really jealous that they can go to restaurants or movies or parks or indoor amusement parks or, whatever. I'm like, that is not fair. That is not fair. And so I do get very jealous. I can admit that. It doesn't feel fair. But I am going to put in the work when I can to try and get us there. We may not make it. We may not make it fully, but I'm trying. And so I know you're tired. Oh my gosh, I know you're tired. Like at one point last night, I was like, here's an example of something that happened last night. This is an example. And then I'll go. When Cooper's done, he's done. There's no stretching him anymore. There's no, it's game over. He's done. And so the second that buzzer went off last night, he was done. And two things happened. I know that he's done. Harbor lost his shoe. So we were sitting on these bleachers that went like this. And his shoe had slid, his Croc. And we knew that. We're like, we'll worry about it at the end. And so he's like, Mom, can you please help me find my shoe? And I was like, yeah, I can help you. That required me to go down the bleachers. Cooper stood up and started walking. No, he cannot safely walk anywhere by himself. He just can't. He doesn't understand traffic or danger or... So I had this moment where I was like, I was like, Harbor, just wait. I'm like, Cooper, you have to sit down. And he's saying, no. I'm like, I know you're done. You have to sit down. And he like started getting mad. So he was like kind of hopping. And I looked at him and I was like, if you want, our list for last night was hockey, pictures of his friends, Blue Mountain Quarry, home. I know that all sounds ridiculous, but it's our autism world. And so I looked at him and I was like, if you want photos of friends, Michelle, there's no one more positive about anything than me. So you don't need to tell me to be positive. I'm the most positive person ever, but I'm also sharing the realities of this. It's hard. And so I repeated his list to him and he sat down. And so he sat sort of like in the walkway. There was no one around, but he sort of like sat down. And so I knew I had like 15 seconds to help Harbor find his shoe. And so like I ran down and I was like, the whole time, like keeping eyes on him. Because if I gotta, found the shoe, came up. I mean, that's just an example. It's like, good grief, kid. Just give me like 15 seconds to like find the shoe. But that's like a perfect example of like a high stress moment. And then when you walk out, so after a sporting event, specifically hockey, I'm sure they're all the same. All the parents, get together and talk. And my friend Adrienne and I discuss this a lot, this topic. She's like, cause her youngest has autism and she's like, I would give anything to stand around with the parents. And that's how I feel too. I haven't done that for 14 years. And so all my friends were out in the entryway and I just wanted to talk to them and I had to. Cooper won't. It's just, and so I did manage to get like 20 seconds to talk to my friend Emily. I actually saw her in the bathroom when I brought Cooper to the bathroom and I was like, your son did so great. And, we got to talk for her and she's like, how did Cooper do? And I was like, we're here. And, but I think it's really important to say he's come so far. We're there. He's making progress. You have to have so much energy. Like that's the other thing. I'll serve this up for you on a platter. There is no break. That's one part that I didn't understand about this autism life until I started living it. With my other kids, like they'll like watch a movie or take a nap or, with Cooper, he doesn't care if I'm sick or if I have a broken ankle or if someone just died or if we're on vacation or he is who he is. And, I'd love to sit and watch hockey, but I can't because he needs me. But at least I'm there and I'm I'm there. I'm there. This is all the realities of it. It's just reality. It just is. And I think if you're out there and you're like, gosh, she's negative or she's sugarcoating it or everything I just said, it just is. And I think you have to accept that it's harder. It's hard. And then you have to accept that how you look at it is a big deal and your attitude. And then lastly, it's okay to get mad and jealous and want to give up. Oh, hi, Shannon. Shannon, do you know what Cooper, you know what I had to do, Shannon? Get a sitter. That's hilarious, Susie. That's like the funniest thing I've ever read. Shannon, last night to get to the hockey game, he wanted pictures of Peyton and Dexter. And so I had to go through my phone and text him all the pictures of Peyton and Dexter. And that's what made him so excited to like stay at the game. Those are his two best friends. So I thought that was really sweet. Like, cause he got a new phone and he broke his other phone and he got a new phone and he wanted all pictures of his friends on there. So I went through that, and got him all his photos last night. It was really cute. And then we talked about taking a trip to the Blue Mountain Quarry, which isn't realistic and it's not going to happen, but we pretended that it was going to happen. Okay. Tiffany, I completely agree. You know, I'll take it even farther. Tiffany said, I can't stand when people see us as always negative. We can't always be rainbows and unicorns, 100%. But I'll also take it one step farther, is that a lot of times I'm not even being negative or positive. I'm just sharing. And I notice that like enrages people. You know, just like sharing enrages people. I don't know why. Like, I don't know why, you know, me saying, you know, this is really hard. I don't know why that would like enrage people. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. And maybe I never will. And that's probably a positive. I've been seeing a lot of videos lately of just really hard autism moments online. And it's hard for me to watch. It's hard for me to watch because I can't go back. I don't know. I think I have such bad PTSD. I think I have such bad PTSD that I can't even, you know, I'm writing a little bit about it in this new book. And it's like, when I go there and I'm like, in my mind, and I'm like, you know, oh my gosh, it was just so bad. So, it was just so bad. Okay. I'm going to work on this bedroom. I'm gonna get my kids in here to help me. And then we have just a sort of like a busy, what do we have? Birthday party, hockey, horseback riding. And I want to make a good dinner. I want to make a very good dinner tonight. I'm just hungry. So I've been sick for so long. I'm like, we're going to have a good dinner. I sent my husband to the grocery store. We're going to have steak and chicken and hot dog for Winnie and potatoes. That sounds so good. I'm so hungry. Okay, everyone have a good day. Oh, I'm going to start sharing links to my book again. My books, I've been getting a lot of new followers, so there's new people out here. If you want to read our story, I wrote a book called Forever Boy. I'm so proud of it. It's a memoir. It's about Cooper's life and our life from birth to age 10. I'll put a link to that. And then I wrote a second book called Autism Out Loud with my two friends, Carrie and Adrian. And that book really talks more topic focused, like diagnosis, guilt, grief, education, caregiving, community. So both books are phenomenal. Start with Forever Boy and then read Autism Out Loud. They're not expensive. They're on Amazon. They're like $15, $12, or go to your library. So I'll share those right now. Please grab a copy if you haven't read it. Okay. Bye.